It's 5:30 p.m. On the 29th of August 2022, and we're here at St. Owen's Church, Ballymore, County Westmeath, Ireland. And I have Seamus McDermott along with me here. He's one of the committee that tidied up the graveyard and got into great shape. So we'll go in up here and he'll tell me the history of it and that. Now I'm going to go over here and look at posters here with the names of all the different surnames of the families buried here. Let's see. There's a lot of people buried here, Seamus.
A lot of people, Sean. Yes, yeah. We have some of the second names. Then will be the wives or relations of the first name.
Oh yeah, but you have all the people that were buried here.
No, we wouldn't have everyone. We've
Yeah,
everyone,
just the surnames of the families.
surnames of the families.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all the inscriptions. We've read all the inscriptions of over 200 headstones.
Yeah.
And they're all uploaded on historicgraves.com.
Yeah.
At St. Owen's, Ballymore.
That's not a nationwide thing,
It
is
is,
it?
yes.
No,
It's a website, yeah.
Oh, if anyone wants to check out where they came from on that,
exactly, yeah.
they can do.
They can check it easily enough through the historicgraves.com.
Oh, it's a big tourist thing, you know.
It is attracting a lot of interest now.
And do you have people from abroad making inquiries?
We do. I've met people here now. Last week we're mowing, and two different groups came from the United States.
Oh.
And I've met people here from Australia.
No.
Numerous Irish people from various parts. People from England.
Oh,
this map here then, Sean, shows it's a map of the graveyard, showing all the headstones.
Yeah.
And they're all numbered then, and the numbers correspond with the names.
With the name. You want to check out where they're buried.
It's easy to find it.
It's easy.
We have a little numbered disc on each headstone with that number, the number on it.
Yeah, so good bit of work went out. A good idea.
It's very easy to find it.
Yeah, right, up in the gate there.
No, you're welcome to St. Owen's.
Thank you. Now, this is St. Owen's Church. It's a Church of Ireland church, and when was it built, Seamus?
Well, there was a church here on this site, Sean. There's a Christian. The first record of a Christian or of a settlement in Ballymore is recorded by the Annals of the Four Masters in 600 AD.
Yeah.
And it was probably a Christian society at that stage.
Yeah.
And the first record of a church on the site was in 1218. There was a church erected by Hugh de Lacy, the Lord of
Norman,
Anglo-Norman Lord of Meath.
Yeah.
And he erected a church dedicated to St. Thomas in 1218 on this site.
Yeah.
And the next record we have of then is in 1428. The church was rededicated to St. Mary.
Yeah.
We have maps then showing the down survey map of 1656 shows a church on this site, very similar to the one you're looking at now.
Yeah.
And again in 1691, the Battle of Ballymore maps as well, they show George Story's accounts of the battle, and his maps show a church still here on the site.
Yeah.
Still here on the site. So that the medieval church, we're not sure where it was. The records state that it's on the same site as the present church you're looking at.
Yeah.
And the church before this one then is definitely on that site.
Yeah,
that church,
there's a lot of churches.
That particular church now, there's a plaque on the wall there, as you can see, and it says 1827.
Yeah.
Now in 1827, the Board of First Fruits allocated £1,100 to build a church in Ballymore.
Yeah.
So we think what happened was at that date that the existing church was rededicated
Oh, yeah.
or re-roofed or some repairs carried out, because Dr. Coogan's account of the Diocese of Meath in
Yeah.
1856 states that the old church was pulled down
Yeah.
and a new church erected on the site.
Yeah. Probably maybe in bad
So
repair.
sometime between 1827 and 1856, the present building that
yeah.
you're looking at.
All
was erected.
all them Church of Ireland churches, they're all more or less the same design.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's here. What way was the roof? Was the roof on that?
There was a roof on it. It was handed over to the county council. The representative church body, Church of Ireland, handed it over to the Westmeath County Council in 1954,
Yeah.
and it was closed then in 1959.
Yeah.
Closed completely, and it was dismantled then over the next 3 or 4 years, 60, 61, 62.
Yeah.
The roof was taken off it. There was 3 stained glass windows there on this side,
Mm.
and they were relocated to All Saints Church in Church Avenue in Mullingar.
Oh, I see. So
The
then-
bell went to a church in County Down,
Oh.
St. Dorothy's Church in County Down.
Oh, so it did. I was just wondering, was there a bell in that?
Oh, there was.
So
there
there was,
a bell,
yeah, yeah.
That
well,
was a 3-story tower. There were 3 stories on
yeah,
that
yeah.
tower.
Yeah.
And,
And I'm just wondering how the roof worked on that, because it'd have to come inside them parapets, wouldn't it?
well, you can see more or less the from those steps up along the side there, or that
Yeah.
parapet up the side, both sides. The roof is up to that level, because there was
Yeah.
a chimney at the back. You can see the old chimney at the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And at some later stage then, I have the church vestry notes going back to about 1834, 1835. The rector requested that a vestry be added on. So there's a vestry added on to the back.
Yeah, yeah.
And that little block that you see on the right hand side, that's another chimney going from the vestry.
From the best. Yeah, but right, a roof on the tower.
Oh,
and
there was a
that.
roof on the tower, but it was below that parapet.
And yeah, so it had to be lead getting it in the. I can't see any way it could get out through the wall. There's no gullies or anything like that.
Oh, there is, yes, there was gullies and there was
Oh, there
there was
is.
a downpipe on the back.
Oh, was there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was.
not a
Certainly
great idea
Certainly
having
was a downpipe on the back.
having water held back
No,
like that,
no,
parapets and
no.
valleys and
No,
all.
as you can see, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Sean, one of the pinnacles has fallen down.
Yeah,
Fell about
yeah.
25 years ago. And there's another one there on the right in danger of falling as well.
Yeah,
So we received a grant last year from the Heritage Council to take down the top of the tower down to that horizontal ledge around the back.
yeah.
Take it down completely and rebuild it
Rebuild it.
and restore the pinnacle.
Yeah, there's only one of them down.
Only one fell.
One
But
fell.
you can see there it's splitting the outer walls. The walls between the pinnacles are splitting
And yeah,
and coming apart. as
rain
well.
and frost.
Rain and frost and wind and everything else. Yeah, but
all
particularly
that,
frost.
yeah. Well, can you tell me anything about St. Owen? Where did he?
Well, St. Owen was rechristened St. Owen's Church by the Church of Ireland people.
He's a
so-
Church of Ireland saint. is
Obviously a
he?
Church of Ireland saint, yeah.
Oh, I say,
But,
I didn't hear. Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Roman Catholics called Owen too.
Oh, there are, yes,
yeah,
there are,
so
yeah.
it's not.
But it probably was the case that the church, when it was rededicated to St. Mary in 1428,
Yeah,
it was only just over another 100 years until the Reformation.
yeah, yeah.
So it was closed at that stage then.
Yeah,
And Sir Henry Pearce, when he did his survey of Westmeath in 1684, he recorded that the church was here at that stage as well.
right.
And he said in repair except for the east side.
Oh,
So it was in repair and probably in some use, but not because of the penal laws, obviously.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Catholics-
there was a certain amount of Church of Ireland people in
Oh, there
this
was. Of
part.
course there
They'd be
was.
using it.
They'd be using it.
Yeah,
But the Catholic population around about were
they-
for 200 years because of the penal laws. They didn't use it.
yeah.
So it never came back into Catholic hands. It stayed in Church of
It's
Ireland
in,
hands
yeah. That was
until 1954.
Yeah.
1954.
If you had a roof on a building, you had to pay rates on it. I
That's
think.
true. That was the reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it was stripped,
That's
and
why it was
probably the
Unfortunately, it was stripped. It's a shame to strip it, really. No, because
yeah.
from when it was stripped, then obviously the fabric of the building
I
started,
did. Yeah.
started,
I remember when the
started to
slate
deteriorate.
room. What 1958?
59.
9. That's when they stripped. Yeah.
59.
And
And from
there's-
59 to 63, it was stripped.
Yeah.
was closed,
There's a lot of churches like that around the country.
Mm.
And I tell
funny
you,
enough, I have the plans of the the plans of the church, the building plans for the church.
Yeah.
And it shows pews, individual box pews for
Oh no,
the
yeah.
congregations,
Oh yeah,
which was
yeah.
fairly common that time, do you know?
Yeah, I think families owned it.
Family owned the various
pew, and
pews,
they don't
probably so.
yeah, get into that.
Yeah, probably so,
that
yeah.
seat
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
No, well, that's all I can think of.
Well,
You can think
hopefully,
anymore.
if I live long enough, I'd like to see a roof back on it
Yeah,
again.
yeah. It's
Now, as I say, our plans with the Heritage Council this year will be working on the top part of the tower, and then there's plans further on for re-roofing the tower
yeah.
and putting in louver windows or
so
whatever, and
that's,
then we'll move on to the nave of the church,
Yeah.
and then further on.
That's Board of Works job, isn't it?
No,
Is
it'll be
it?
private stonemasons that will be employed to do that.
Yeah, but it's state funded, isn't it?
State
It's
funded, yeah,
well,
the Heritage
yeah.
Council of
I
Ireland.
think the Board of Works look after the round towers and that.
The OPW would be in charge of the round towers.
Yeah,
they would,
and
yeah.
that.
But
Well,
the Heritage Council are in charge of giving grants for the restoration of buildings such as this, you know.
Yeah, well, we'll have a look at some graves here of interest
Yes,
around about. You were saying there's one here in this corner.
There's an interesting one in this. You can go up here, Sean. Yes. Just before you go to do that, I'll just show you the, as you've seen on the map outside,
Yeah,
we numbered all the little headstones.
yeah.
We numbered all the headstones with this little,
And then you got to stick on.
very discreet number. Mary Connaughton, a local artist in glass, made those little discs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we stuck the numbers on all the headstones, so that's very easy to
You
identify.
got fairly good stuff that'll hold it on.
I did. It's,
Oh,
it's,
no.
it's very easy to identify where
Yeah,
you
oh yeah.
find where your stone if you want
yeah,
to find
yeah,
it.
you want.
Yeah.
Well, this.
So there are over 220 stones in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Roughly 200, roughly 180 of them are headstones with names and inscriptions on them.
Yeah, that one is a fairly interesting looking
This
one.
one now here was. This one is for a man called Lennon,
Yeah.
and the strange thing about it is Thomas Lennon. The inscription, which is difficult to read it now in the light conditions, is in Latin.
Yeah.
It's in Latin. He died in 1733, and at that time Latin was a very common name.
They were using it in monuments and all that.
They were, yeah, and it's been spoken by the people as well.
Was it?
Yeah, but it's there's a number of features on it. Like the top of it is the is his coat of arms.
Yeah.
That's his coat of arms.
Yeah. And when did he die?
He died in 1788.
1788. So
And
he's.
that's all the inscription there on it.
Yeah.
And the translation is, at this place are the remains of Thomas Lennon, late of Cloncullen, and in brackets then a gentleman, a good, pious and upright man.
Yeah. Cloncullen,
Cloncullen.
that's where he lived.
That's where he lived.
Oh,
He departed this life the 19th of January 1788 in his 76th year.
Yeah, well, it looks they were a fairly well-off family.
They were a well-off family, and
yeah,
a couple of features on it, apart from the lovely coat of arms.
Yeah,
There's a scallop here,
yeah.
a scallop shell, just
Oh,
there on
yeah.
top. And that indicated that he had done the Camino
Yeah, over to
Santiago. Yeah.
Spain.
to Spain, to Santiago.
Yeah.
So obviously he was a man of money when he could do that.
Well, he must be Catholic. So
He was Catholic.
when he done that.
He was Catholic,
Yeah, yeah. I've just this.
And there's another thing
down
down
on the
here. There's another interesting thing. We have a couple of stones with this on them round about.
Yeah.
And it's a skull and crossbones.
Yeah.
And underneath it then is Ment Mori, MEMENT MORI, which means remember you will die.
Yeah, yeah.
The skull really, it was a lesson to people that time, or an indication to people that time. The skull was danger and it's still danger. You'll see it on poison bottles and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah,
So that was indicating that it's danger.
yeah.
And the thing below was, remember you will die, Memento Mori.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a warning to people to be good in this life,
Yeah,
behave themselves in this life, or you'll suffer in the next.
The Gestapo or German Hitler's time, they were fond of wearing the skull.
That's right, danger as well.
Danger. Put a bit of fear in people.
Yeah. Well, a few headstones with that particular on
Yeah,
it.
that's unusual, you know.
Yeah. So
You'd come across some monuments in towns in Latin now.
You do. Some of the local children think that he's a pirate.
Oh, is that it? Skull and crossbones.
Crossbones.
Yeah.
Those ones here now, those three stones here, are the Brabazon family.
Yeah.
The Brabazon were a very, very wealthy landowning family. They had numerous estates all over Ireland.
Yeah.
But this particular branch of the family were in Toherstown, near Lochnavallee.
Yeah, and that's and there was
On
a
the left-hand
Dillon's
side.
at one time.
No, it wasn't Dillon's. No, Toherstown now is
No,
this side of it.
Oh, I know where
opposite
you're
the
talking about.
Yeah, opposite the football pitch.
That was Dylan's, I think, at one time.
May have
too.
been, may have
no,
been.
maybe you're right. Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
know.
it definitely was Brabazon's anyway, because the
Yeah,
inscription is
yeah,
on those.
they're in Mount Dalton.
They're in Mount Dalton, the branch of Mount Dalton now. And
But
the
I only got that in the 1700s.
there were earls of Meath at one stage,
Oh, were they?
and the various estates in Wicklow and Waterford and all over the country.
All
really.
over the country.
Yeah,
yeah.
but still a common enough name in Westmeath. There's a couple of families of
Well,
Gibson Brabsons.
Gibson Brabson.
Yeah.
They're all them there, aren't they?
Those three are the Gibson Brabson family,
Yeah.
and that's then a son-in-law.
Oh,
And again, they had a very elaborate.
Yeah, well, you think they'd be buried in Churchtown, wouldn't you?
Well,
Or
you
New
would, I suppose,
Bristol,
yeah, but I suppose
or,
they had the plot here, and it was Church of Ireland, so
Yeah,
that's
but
probably
Churchtown, there is one of them towers. In
there
it,
is,
but the
there
rest of it is
the rest
gone.
of it's gone. Yeah,
No, and that.
all
yeah.
down here then are all those back ones are the Rourke family.
Oh yeah,
The Rourke family from Ballahurra.
Kenneth
Ballycurd,
and
yes.
Bernie O'Rourke. and them.
No, Kenneth O'Rourke
I know Kenneth O'Rourke.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Out
Barney
on the Moat Road.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know,
All
yeah.
those standing ones there, and a couple of those ones there.
Yeah.
So
But,
they were a very prominent family here at
Yeah,
one
there's
stage.
McCormick's along here someplace too. I
There's
can't-
Cormac's, there's numerous Cormac's. Cormac's graves, so yeah, it's a very common name as well.
Yeah, but they're Cormac's a Bishopstown, I think. Dan Casey's.
Oh, is that right?
Think, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Well, I was told that there was burials there not that far back now.
Right.
yeah.
Well, the last person buried here now is Billy Austin.
I know.
about 4 years
I
ago.
was at his funeral.
Yeah.
There's what's that there in the mall? A gateway is it or a
No,
memorial?
again, it's a headstone again.
Yeah.
It's a headstone again. That's one of the O'Rourke ones.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and the funny thing, if you just come here to the wall, Sean, this wall was built, again in the vestry notes, the church body here, the vestry here, looked for a grant to build a wall around the graveyard.
Yeah.
But we've had an archaeologist here, and he says that the old graveyard is out about 20 metres out in the field. This isn't the actual boundary of the old graveyard
They
at all.
tightened it up a bit.
They tightened it up a lot.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
see the ground, how
Yeah,
uneven it
yeah,
is
I know how.
out there.
Yeah.
And that's the old graveyard all the way around.
All the way and took in the big
Yeah, took in
areas.
the big
in the
area.
area. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny enough, the strange thing about it is the oldest stone is 1619, that one over there. 1630.
Where is that one now?
1630. And we've very few stones, headstones, from the famine times, the 1800s, because at that time the new churchyard had opened in Ballymore probably, and there's some headstones up there. But the majority of people at that time, you fall
they
across.
kind of keep coming back.
Correct, yeah.
To where
You see here now, see that like that there.
yeah, that's a marker for
That's a marker stone.
Yeah.
And we've lots of those around the place, some more over
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and they're all over the place. And those were stones, people that couldn't afford a headstone.
put into.
They brought a stone from the garden of the person that had died, or
Yeah.
a wall
and
nearby,
put in.
and just put it on the grave.
Yeah.
So it's a marker
Yeah,
stone.
usually you were going to dig a grave and there was no headstone. You'd mark off from where there was a headstone,
Right.
you know, and I suppose that's
Yeah.
way
That's probably why it's called a
a
marker
stone. Yeah, yeah.
This is the old one here then. Now, sadly, since we've exposed them, in 2018, you could only get a path up. There was only a path up the laneway, up this avenue to the church door. Everything else was
White
3
grass.
and 4 foot high of brambles,
Yeah,
nettles, white grass. So all you could see were the tops of a few of the headstones.
Yeah.
You couldn't see anything at all here.
Yeah.
This had been completely covered in vegetation, grass and everything else.
Yeah, and it was more readable at that
It was
time.
perfectly readable. Unfortunately now, as I said, the sad thing about exposing those things is they're all
Yeah,
They're all there.
yeah,
But that's
yeah. You can see it in that one in the corner, the Latin piece.
You can.
It's very.
that's the actual stone now. That was,
yeah.
and that's a drawing of what the stone is.
That's stone.
That's the stone's actually
what
like.
you found.
And the
when you-
unusual thing about it is the inscription is around the outside of the stone,
Yeah.
all the way around.
That's the way they've done it.
Thomas
What's the name of the?
Wise, W-I-S-E.
Yeah, well, there was Wises in
Oh, there was.
Ballymonmore.
There was,
They're,
yeah. Thomas starts there,
yeah,
Thomas, around to there. 1613 is there.
yeah.
And then the unusual thing about it is the very big base of the cross.
Mm,
And it goes up then, IHS forms here.
yeah.
And there were two drawings then of those two implements.
Mm.
And when I say implements, they were tools of his trade.
Yeah, one looks like a
One is
hand axe.
one is a hatchet or a hand
Yeah,
axe.
axe, yeah.
We've no idea what this is.
Looks like a square.
It's some sort of a T-square or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, like
So
that was his trade.
somebody has said that he was a master carpenter.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that
Could be. We don't know.
Yeah, people were particular about headstones.
I've researched all over the place for something like that, and I can't find it. There's a little nick in that there, so obviously there were some tools.
Well, there was Wise's mills.
Well, they were millers.
They were millers. Yeah,
They were millers.
Maybe that different symbols.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could
there's
be.
a little headstone.
Yeah,
now,
nice writing on that one, isn't it?
Yeah, who is he? Or she? You have to be careful what you say. You can't really get it.
Murray.
Murray.
Thomas Murray.
That's
Thomas Murray.
common enough name now.
Yeah,
Murray's. Yeah, around that too. Yeah.
Nice little stone.
Yeah.
Some beautiful stones, some beautiful inscriptions there.
Yeah. There's some two there now. He cleaned off a good bit clay off
We cleaned off
those.
a good little bit off those. We did.
Yeah.
You know the difference now. In the,
You can see it there, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Thomas Plunkett, is
those
that
are
the,
1800.
Yeah.
Plunkett.
Plunkett is the surname.
Plunkett there, and then there again. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're both Plunkett.
Yeah, Plunkett.
Which isn't a name around Ballymore anymore either.
It was around.
At one stage.
time. Yeah, there's Plunkett's there.
Yeah, at one
in
stage
the
it
road.
was.
Yeah.
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 But not
Yeah, I don't know why. Blessed Albert Plunkett. It was a Norman name, Plunkett.
There's one over there now as well. It's good. The inscription is
Yeah,
fairly
so
clear.
go down and have a look at it.
It's fairly clear in that one as well. This one here, now it's a good one here. Pray for the soul of Bridget Kelly, alias Killian, who departed July the 1st, 1773.
Yeah, Kelly and Killian, they're Roman Catholic.
Yes, yeah. And you can see the old writing. A lot of that, departed ye, Y, and a small e.
They couldn't have enough room.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of that. And the first again and so on.
Yeah. The penal laws didn't affect burials here.
No, it remained a graveyard for both.
Yeah,
Predominantly Catholic.
yeah. David Lloyd George, the Welsh wizard, to call him.
Yes.
He came to prominence. He was a solicitor over some dispute over burials in some graveyard.
Right.
And that's how he came to notoriety in
Right.
that.
That's a Rourke now. That's one of the Rourkes there.
Yeah.
And you can see the way it's spelled. Patrick, R-O-A-R-K.
Yeah.
R-O-A-R-K. So the spelling is different on a lot of them. Depending on
the work is spelled different than some of them.
It is.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Even along those ones, you know. That's 1798.
That could be a bit of a misunderstanding with the stone mason. Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Well, keep moving along now anyway.
And there's Maxwell's here then. Those ones here are Maxwell's.
Are they? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Doesn't say where they're from.
No, unfortunately the addresses isn't on most of them.
No, people put a lot of stuff on headstones, but they don't give the address.
Yeah, there's one now I'll show it you later on. The address is well, there's one Fagan Ballymahan.
Yeah. That's a recent one enough there, that one.
No, that one's 1856.
Yeah, well, 1856 would be.
Well, I suppose for the graveyard.
Yeah.
Just minor steps from that. Now we did find this thing here. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah.
And it's possible that it is the old medieval church, the original church.
Yeah.
It's a square enough structure, or a rectangular
And
structure.
the stones aren't great looking, they're sticking
No,
up there.
they're not. And there's a little semicircle on the outside there.
Yeah.
So at that time, the people didn't go into the church as we do now. They stayed outside, and there was nobody inside, only the
Yeah, it might be
priest.
like the cemetery Sundays on your
so
shelter.
it's possible that that's it. We don't know.
Yeah, well, it has an outline of a building
Yeah,
there.
it's outside of a building, definitely. It's not great.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one down in the corner there, huh?
That's Donlands. We're not sure either. It broke off. You see the end of it sticking up,
Yeah.
and it just broke off. It was lying there where those stones are, and we just moved it in.
Yeah, it's not limestone, that one, no? It's some other type of
Some
stone.
other type of stone. It looks like granite, probably.
Yeah, wherever that came from. Do you know much about
That wouldn't be certainly local anyway.
No, that's what I'm
No.
just thinking.
Mostly limestone. 99% of them are limestone.
Yeah, limestone doesn't. It weathers as soft and
soft.
it gets blurred.
It's soft.
Yeah.
There's a few sandstone ones, not very massive.
Yeah.
I showed you some of these rest here now that we found in our digging. And it was confirmed to us by an archaeologist.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't sure, but we had an idea. I had an idea that it might have been. This is a piece. This piece here.
Yeah, that's some of a window or something like that.
This part of the OG window from the medieval church,
Oh.
from the 12th
Yeah.
century. 12th century
How
church.
did you find that?
We found it off down the graveyard.
Oh.
It's a part of
And
the
was
window.
there much more stuff
That's
with
it.
it?
Now,
Oh, yeah.
I came up here very early one morning, about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I was taking photographs of the headstone in the early morning sunlight.
Yeah.
And I brought out these few pieces. I'll show you those in a minute. I had them out here looking at them. And unfortunately, you won't see this evening. But I walked around this. And suddenly I discovered. See the face of Christ?
Mm.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see the nose and
You see
that.
it?
Yeah.
The nose and the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. What kind of a story is to that?
We don't know. I have no idea. But it's amazing.
Oh.
We looked at it, the archaeologist looked at it, nobody ever seen it.
Yeah.
And just whatever way the sun hit that
Yeah,
morning.
you seen the shadow.
You seen the shadow.
Yeah.
And you can see the eyes now,
Mm.
and the nose,
Yeah.
and the mouth.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah,
outline.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
the beard.
Yeah.
There's
It's
the
hard to
face.
see what way that fitted into a building
It
now,
is, isn't it?
because
That would be
you
an
think
act-
that'd be in against
that'd
the
be
wall,
hidden.
the
And
wall.
maybe
maybe it was
maybe it was
no.
deliberate.
Yeah, yeah.
Those-
Maybe it's someone practicing.
True. Those pieces here, that there, that's a window detail from the church that was here before, the 15th, the 16th century, 17th century. The one before this one,
Yeah, it's fairly good stuff,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
those are pieces from it as well. This is a corbel rock, corbel stone.
Yeah,
You see the crucifix
yeah,
and a couple of diamonds.
yeah.
That was another part of it.
Mm.
And this is another part of it here. It's another part there.
Yeah,
It probably was a windowsill or something. We don't know either.
yeah.
But-
It's fairly fresh looking there, isn't
Those
it?
have been confirmed as part of the church that was here up to 1827 or 1856, whichever.
Yeah, yeah.
The one
yeah,
between
yeah.
this one and
And
the
the-
present one.
Yeah.
So we've passed from the three different churches
Churches. Yeah.
over on the side.
I wonder where did you come across slate?
Slate, not really, no. Very little
There
slate.
could have been thatched churches too.
No, there's definitely no question about it. The original one was. And that's another thing we found as well, which that's difficult to see it now. It was confirmed to us as well. You can't see it now.
Yeah.
It was a stone that a stonemason's apprentice was working on, or
Yeah.
practicing on.
Yeah, yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
bits and
yeah,
pieces
yeah,
carved in
yeah, yeah. It
But
was
they're the
the-
most interesting. That's there now. They're the most interesting pieces.
Yeah. It was a slow, laborious thing doing them.
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll just go down and look at this one in the corner here.
Just put those back in place. Yep. I can fix down there.
Often do you mow it?
Once a week.
It's a big area to mow.
Huge area.
Many lawnmowers will be in here.
Well, two push mowers.
It'll keep you fit.
Two push mowers.
Yeah.
That's all we have at the moment anyway. Yeah, that's Donlan's headstone.
Donlands, or that's a
Donlan. Donlan.
that's a substantial
It's a
headstone.
special
Yeah,
stone. We knew all about when we were
Yeah.
trying to lift it. It was there,
yeah,
lying
yeah,
there.
yeah.
and it was in the way of mowing and that.
It isn't limestone, though. No, it's
It's not limestone, no,
Yeah,
it's- It broke off that. That's
Yeah.
that's the piece of it.
yeah, yeah,
Because you can see the lozenge
yeah.
around the edges.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
wonder
leaf
just
there.
where it came from.
I don't know where the
That's
stone
from-
came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
no
will keep moving around here. There's burials here. On this,
Those are all burials.
Yeah.
Yes, you can see
Yeah.
the mounds,
Yeah,
the grave mounds, and
Yeah.
now the
Yeah.
strange thing about it is we haven't that area there that we haven't mowed. We haven't found any headstones.
yeah. We'll go around. We'll go up here to this high hill.
You can see now where the pinnacle fell off the top.
Oh yeah, where it's down inside it.
No, we have the bits of it all right.
Ah,
It fell down out here onto the grave.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
have the bits of it.
Fine though.
So it'd be nice to get restored and stop it from falling down.
I know I stopped it from falling down.
Yeah.
This It's hard to make out how that pit got there.
I don't know what that pit is about.
It's,
We've no idea, unless the original church that was here was on a much lower than that, and then
ground is outside there.
they dug it up out here and put a mound up there. I'm not sure.
They could be using it to make a road into the place, but it's unusual that they have a sand pit in the graveyard.
But the account from Henry Pearce's account from 1684 is saying that the church is on high ground, on rising ground.
Yeah.
Here's the maps now. That's the map of 1691, prepared by the historian. There's the church there.
Yeah.
There's the church there.
Let's see if we get a good shot of that map. Yeah, where is, that's the lake.
That's the lake and the fort. This is from the Battle of 1691.
Yeah, there's two roads there running off. This one.
George Story's map. There's another one off the battle as well. And again, you can see it. The church is marked.
This is 1690.
1691.
Yeah.
1691.
The Willamette War.
Willamette Wars. Yeah. They're the formations of the English cavalry.
Yeah.
So it's definitely here. That's the record we have of it.
Yeah.
At that time.
Oh, big land to be buried at that time.
Walter Scally. There's 4 stones by that stonemason, Walter Scally, WS.
Yeah.
And you can see how the beautiful writing he has. I'll show you another one now.
What year there is on that?
That one is it's from the 1700s.
That's the way you found that.
1756, pardon?
That's the way you found that.
That's the bottom of it.
Yeah. What did you stand it up like that?
It went down like that. That part was out here.
And so you tidied it up.
Tidied it up. Yeah.
And that, there was a Father Dalton active around here in penal times, wasn't there?
Father Dalton was the Mass Rock.
Aye, that's what.
Which is on that hill over there.
Yeah.
The hill over there. That's the Father Dalton's
Yeah,
Mass
I
Rock.
think he lived someplace nearby.
He did. He was from down in Putchahan, down there. No, as you go towards my Ballymacallan. He's one of the Daltons.
Well, the Daltons were a big,
the ruling family.
Yeah, big landowners
around.
They're
the ruling family.
The castle in Clare, I think, was the Daltons.
It was, yeah. They had 7 or 8 castles.
Yeah.
They had Emperor and they had Ballinleague.
Yeah.
They had Mullameehan. They had some up before Killeen-Brack.
Yeah.
Clare. It's thought that they even might have erected the one out here. It's credited to the De Lacy family.
Yeah.
But the De Lacy family had died out by the time their descendants were around.
Could be blood. Could be. We'll have a look at this mausoleum.
I'll show you before we go there. I'll show you another interesting visitor over here. And it's the only one, one of the few